Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be watching In Your Dreams SF go 19-0 and take a look at exactly how he does this on the SAFELANE SF. The SAFELANE SF is something that I expected to fall off as people began to figure out the counters and what to pick against it, but really that hasn't really seemed to be, well, it just hasn't seemed to be the case at all. This hero's kill potential in the laning stage is really extremely impressive, especially when you lane with something like Clockwork. This hero can go to work. Alright, so nonetheless, let's get into it, talk about his laning, mid-game, and late game. Yeah, let's hop into it. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like, literally, with the Game Leap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually, you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the Game Leap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. Alright, so Lin gets particularly good after his first major set of kills. This is going to set up from just generally good discipline and not forcing his mana pool too early. So this is a lane where you're unlikely to kill them early on. Pretty tanky heroes in the Razor. Razor has a disengage in his Q, and in general, you can't necessarily kill them at level 1 with the raises unless they really overstep and you can lead with the close raise. Maybe that's an option, but other than that, it's going to be pretty hard. However, let's see how this plays out. So it starts with a weird situation where Clock and Omni are both half. He just generally responds, leads almost with the long raise. I think he makes the good decision of just hesitating there and not going for it. Because even if Clock hits the cogs, I actually don't think it's the right call for him to long raise. I think he should lead medium, hit, and then long raise. And that would also have finished the job. Basically, at level 3, SF kills anyone from half HP with a raise, auto, long raise. Essentially, if you can get a medium raise on half HP targets, you can take the kill. And that's about what happens here. As he, actually, I mean, to be fair, he got off the Heavenly Grace on Omni and his stick, and that's going to allow him to at least force out the long raise from SF. From there, his item build, in my opinion, is very good. The stick coming out early doesn't seem like a big deal, but a lot of players just still don't buy this item early enough. And from there on the Razor kill, he just does it really well too. He doesn't pop his stick right away, and that allows him to get to 9 charges here, which gives him a little bit more than he needed for 2 raises, but he picks up a huge double kill extremely early on into the lane and does a great job of aggro denying after the kill. It's very important that after you get a set of kills, often it means you're probably shoving in the wave. Not always, it depends on how the kill is executed, but most of the time you're casting abilities. So as a good Dota player, if you go for a kill and you execute on that kill, try to build it into your mind that the next subsequent step to dominate the lane and really get as much out of the kill as possible is to aggro deny. Keep that lane back because you probably pushed it out while going for the kill. The next thing that he does well is he just understands it's not time to jungle. He does buy some clarities so that when Razor comes back in the lane, he still has kill threat. I would have even personally liked to see raindrops. I just think that they're really good against a hero like Razor with consistent magic damage. And, you know, your hero needs a ton of mana to really sustain the raises for jungling and for lane pressure. However, we're going to see him just get really aggressive. This is, at this point, everything he does is going to come from the lens of, I'm dominating the lane, right? I even think this is wild over-aggression. Very unnecessary for them to overextend here, as it ends up costing him half of his health. Ends up not being the end of the world, but I will admit, that's a play that, hits the triple raise. Is that a kill? Oh my god. Yeah, as I was saying, everything comes from the lens of him dominating lane. If he's not a level and a half up on the Razor, now 2 levels up on the Razor, I don't necessarily think he can make a lot of these plays. So there, the over-aggression, I would call it over-aggression, only works out, and I don't even think it hard worked out, because realistically, they could have just not made that dive play, static the wave, waited for a better opportunity where maybe the Razor doesn't see the Clock coming, right? Clock can get a better angle and they can go. However, in your average pub, sometimes you're just gonna have to synergize with the position 5, regardless of how good or bad their play is, and I think that is, to some extent, what he does well there, which is just identifying that, okay, my clock's going, and he was just ready for it. And yeah, honestly, one of the big things that I love about In Your Dreams gameplay is just his discipline on the CS, right? Just such good discipline on the CS. Really just making sure that he keeps this Razor poor. A lot of players have this bad habit where at some point of the lane, they're just like, yeah, the lane's done. And they just start pushing it out no matter what. He hasn't done that. The first time he's going to push out the lane is literally he's level 8. Doesn't even have to use raises at this point to kill a jungle camp. Just straight up autos the camp to death. Right? So only now does he start fully shoving the wave, even saving his mana. Wow, really conserving his mana here. Being particularly safe with the mana is he's going to go for the D-Lance. Pretty standard build on SF here. Mask of Madness into D-Lance. It's just a farm it up build. Farm it up, get the D-Lance, hit your timing. Mask of Madness and just wipe the camps. And anytime you're snowballing, this is probably the best item you can buy. The only exception is D-Lance is good if maybe they have like kill threat on you. You could pick up an early belt of strength, fight back that way. Because it does matter a lot, right? You can buy raindrops, Ring of Health, and just have an extra like what 200, 300 health in the engagement, depending on how many times raindrop procs. And so yeah, that is an option as well in like these harder matchups where you're getting run down. So do keep that in mind. You can go D-Lance first, build belt of strength with the raindrops, and that can be good. He does get smoke screen here. It could be, yeah, nice ulti. Really heads up. Understanding that Razor gets a little bit too close, medium into long range, that's always what you go for after ulti, unless you're invis and you hit them, or your arcane blink and you hit them in melee range, then you can go short, medium, long. But in most scenarios, you're aiming for a medium distance on the ult into a medium and long race. The next decision that I absolutely love is the fact that he buys Hurricane Pike. The fact that a lot of players still, to this date, don't understand how good this item is insane to me. Right, just for a bit of perspective, as we'll watch him farm, playing pretty defensive. His team's mostly on the top side of the map, so the only way they can get a kill off is off a perfect. Oh, is he gonna try to? They're gonna try to hook into SF ulti. That is an interesting combo because you can hook and then SF ulti and then bump them back into cogs, and it can work. He really wants them to make the play. It's a hard angle, no angle here. They're gonna go for it anyway. Doesn't even need to ult really. Okay, honestly, probably a waste of time on the ult. Oh my gosh, Storm almost lived because of the GA. That would have been crazy. But yeah, getting back to the point on the Hurricane Pike, I just want to quickly talk about what this item gives that, like, you know, just from upgrading it. And by the way, the active of the item is incredible because being able to push something like a Razor away, not just Force Staff away, is a huge range increase, right? It's massive deal for a hero like SF against a lot of his counters that want to get on top of him. But in terms of the HP, right, Force Staff usually gives 175. That gets upgraded to 200, so a little bit of increase there. Intelligence from Force Staff is 10, it goes all the way up to 15, pretty huge. The Agi from D-Lance is 15, that goes all the way up to 20. The Strength from D-Lance is 12, that goes up to 15. You get the point. It just gives you a lot of free stats, right? And then this incredible active. Also, you just want the Force Staff, right? It just makes you so tanky. Your hero already hits like a truck. I had this build theorized in my head for a while that a lot more players need to value earlier Pike. And it's really started to happen, and so like it's just something I thought has been really cool, and I've really personally agreed with that this early item making you disturbingly hard to kill on heroes like SF that already hit hard enough, right? It's because a lot of people would go either early BKB, and then I'm like, okay, you didn't need it this game, like you're very kiteable, because Force Staff you can even go aggressive. It's good in winning games too, not just, it's not a defensive thing. Right? It can also be aggressive because you can play up further, because you can get out if needed, or you can chase in certain specific scenarios, as we're going to see him TP top here. I don't know about this TP. I think you could have just kept playing your area. I guess he's going to TP bottom and wipe it all out, and just go bottom side, try to take the tier 2. Because with SF Aegis on a hard Hurricane Pike timing, usually you're going to look to Siege. Especially level 15, you have your Aura talent, so he's going to make the safe play, just clean up the tier 2. I like the discipline here, just not doing anything complicated. Doesn't feel like he needs to just shut down the enemy. A lot of people have this horrible misconception that they either need to end the game in Siege with heroes that can't Siege. Like, literally, they'll be playing, like, what's a good example? Phantom Assassin with no BKB. And their team's winning the game, so they just hit the nearby tower. You probably shouldn't do that. Just use your Battle Fury, farm your BKB, your Deso, and own the game then. You see what I'm saying? As SF, it's a little bit different. You can get that early Aegis, and then with that, you can Siege from a safe distance. Even here, he's probably like, what is my team doing? I'm not even close. Why are they going in? Somehow it works out, probably because they're 7k ahead 18 minutes in. But he'll go to the bot side, finds the, oh, there you go. There's the aggressive Force Staff. Can he get the job done? Lance of Pursuit is his current item of choice. I don't know if he probably had to take that. As he gets the kill, no real reason to chase. I don't like that he's chasing Lina. I was going to say, you're not, if they're catching Lina, it's not going to be because of him. And I don't think they need the follow-up damage. So I'm glad he didn't overchase there. That would have been a real waste of time. The average player chases every kill. It's really funny. Like, if you actually watch every Dota match that's below, like, 7k MMR, everyone just chases basically every kill. Even if there's no way that the person that's going to die or is being chased is going to be caught by them, or the damage is going to be dealt by them, people just can't identify that. And it sounds a bit harsh, but it's just the case. As, oh my gosh, he almost two-shot the Storm. Picking up a late BKB here, it's fair, you know. He's got the Crystallis now, which I by the way, I'm a huge fan of Casual Crystallis. It's a great item, guys. 32 damage, really solid, and then 30% chance, which is quite high, to do a 60% crit, right? Bonus damage on your attack. 160% is massive, right? Because you're already hitting for, what, 230-ish? So 60% of that is what, like 100 something? That's some NA math. You guys can laugh at me all you are. Want me to actually do the math? All right, what's 50%? I'll do the math. It's fine. If you're going to insult me, what's 50% of, what is he at? 260 right now? 50% of that's 130. So 60% is probably like what? 155? All right, I can do math. 150, it doesn't matter. You get the point. All right, he gets gone on here. This is actually a bad situation. This is where SF can struggle without the BKB. You have to be careful. He's got the force staff. Will use it to get out here. Has to be careful. I don't think there's much of a reason to ult there. Yeah, a bit of a waste. I think a lot of players use SF ulti the wrong way in scenarios like that. They kind of panic like their team's getting chased or something like that. You want to make sure that they're a bit closer. The max range fear is very underwhelming, so just be careful about like worrying too much about people chasing. If you can just get out, just walk away. Don't burn your ulti. I've just seen that happen quite a lot. Oh, he changed his mind. He's going to go for... Oh no, he got the BKB. He's queuing up the Silver Edge. One thing that I like about his gameplay is he's willing to get more active than I think I would. I might have like considered just farming up the jungle here, but what he does is he sees that his team is going to go for a play on Omni, and he does farm up a little bit, right? It's not like he instantly runs to the Omni, but eventually he sees the fight happening and it just shifts over quick. So it's just good map awareness, right? Just really nice map awareness. All right, from there he's going to siege to the tier 2. A little bit risky. They don't actually have a real save. They have Stampede, but that's not much of a save. It's good against Ricky Smokescreen, but it's not a real save. So they're going to smoke up. Oh, they get the jump. Razor caught. That's just a good jump from the clock. All right, he has to actually, goes in with the ult, doesn't BKB. I was going to say, that's kind of risky. I actually think he nearly made a mistake there. He didn't actually pop his BKB before ulting, which is definitely a risk if you're going to aggressively pike in. But this is probably a decent ulti. Yeah, that's huge. Massive damage onto the Razor. This Lean is just not farmed enough to fight the SF. And, okay, they don't get the job done. Coil snaps, though. Is that a stolen? No, that's not a stolen coil. That's just his puck. But okay, really nice. They're going high ground here. Is going to get slapped. Has to back off, unfortunately. Can look to farm the Silver Edge. I mean, the Silver Edge item is such a heavy DPS spike on heroes like SF, because when your Mask of Madness is down, you lack a lot of attack speed with your current items. So it's nice. As he also picked up the Shard. I think that might have been... No, that's not from Roche. Yeah, so he actually picked up his Shard after, I believe, the Crystallis. Just a bit of a damage timing. Is he going to siege a tier 2? Okay, team gets jump bottom. Not much he can do about that. Puck gets caught. I love his, once again, I just love his decision making. It's very safe. And a lot of people think when I say safe, it means he's taking no risk. It's not that. It's just that Puck got picked off. Let's just play this hill ward, you know? Let's just cut mid-wave, make the safe play. Yeah, he gets slept dart. Oh, they're going to set up. Stolen Heavenly Grace from Rubik is just so dirty, though. He's sitting in the smoke screen. He shouldn't move. This is really low skill, actually. That sounds kind of harsh, but like, if you get smokescreen, you have to understand that max smokescreen is what, 75% mischance? Yeah, you can't, if you don't have MKB, you should try to move out of it. It's not worth just sitting in it. So I will disagree with his decision making there as he just finishes off the Lina, moves on to the Razor. Nope, okay, doesn't chase. Once again, I agree. His team, they don't lack chase by any means, but he's just good at identifying when just no one's in position, right? When none of the chase heroes are close enough. And he's doing a really good job about not wasting his time. As he gets a nice kill here. Onto the tower. Let's see what he takes at level 20. Probably the, what, damage per soul? Yep. Damage per soul, of course. Use the right-click build. Onto the towers. Silver Edge coming out to him now. Massive damage spike in the attack speed. It's great for sieging too, because you don't have to pop your Mask of Madness. So if you get gone on, you can BKB ulti. Where with Mask, you can't. This will make, once again, the discipline play to take Aegis, just understanding the game plan, take the tier 2s. They do get the set of racks there because the death timers for about 30, 40, 50 seconds. As they're gonna try to burst him. He's okay. Doesn't have too much lifesteal with Mask of Madness, maybe enough to heal up. Has to sort of wait out the GA. Doesn't really wait it out, but the BKB ends on Lina. Pikes towards her. Usually I'm not a fan of that, but it can work with SF. When you're having a good game and you fear someone, the aggressive use of Pike can allow you to burst them with autos. Or even the Shard also pushes them away. So sometimes on SF, even though I'm like on a hero like Drow, I would almost never, or Sniper, almost never recommend it. I think it's a bit more okay on SF. Because you're buying usually BKB a bit earlier to synergize with that play. It's not a play you should generally make without BKB. So you're making the play with BKB and you're pushing them away from you consistently, quickly too. Like Sniper pushes you away, but it's not as aggressive of a push away per se as SF Shard or SF ulti. As they get the Roche. Did Ricky steal the Shard? That's really funny. And he sniped the courier, what a beast. He got the Aeon disc. Yeah, they're gonna go high ground here. Wow, okay, Lena's dead. That was fast. Siege onto the high ground, going for the butterfly next. Yeah, it makes sense. It's a Lina carry, a lot of right-click damage, and okay. Well, at this point, SF's not that hard. You kind of just have to hit the closest person and don't overextend. BKB ulti if they really hard commit and go onto your backline. And yeah, SF honestly popped, he just popped off. And a lot of it, in my opinion, comes off the lane. I mean, I say that, it's not like if you put a 3K in his position 15 minutes in, they would carry this game. I'll keep it real. I know you might think you might. I know you might think you might. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. You would not. I know you wouldn't. You could tell me you would. I know you wouldn't. All right? Because a lot of his decision making was just clean. It was, as I said, it's sort of safe. It's textbook is the best way to put it. He's following a lot of the good rules. When he got that Aegis, didn't overplay his hand, right? He cleared out his jungle. I think they got a pick off in the enemy triangle or mid lane, and then he TP'd bottom to get a pick off on the Lina, and then just pushed that wave out, got the tier 2. He understands with TP on cooldown, he doesn't need to chase them around the map. In general, because he's a siege hero, he doesn't need to chase. Some heroes should chase, right? If you're playing a carry like Ricky, it's probably not a good idea when you get Aegis to walk down a lane and push a tower. That's really stupid, probably. Unless you have a Beastmaster, maybe you change your mind, but you get the point. He just makes decisions that enable his hero to just put pressure, which on SF at level 15 with Aegis can be a lot of tower pressure, and we saw that this game. He didn't overextend at the towers. It's not like he just casually walked up and hit them. He made sure that, you know, you didn't see him get jumped at a tower and bursted. That's another thing to keep in mind. Yes, he sieged towers, but it was with information or with proper backup, right? Actually, I think he almost never sieged a tower without vision of 3 or 4 heroes previous. Maybe he did it mid once, but in general, that's something to keep in mind, guys. Even as a good siege hero, people just hit the tower. It's so stupid. You're just asking to get jumped and you get your BKB or Pike forced instantly with like no value. You just get it forced. You know, they can cast like a couple of stupid nukes on you and you just have to use all your defensive items and then you die after because of it. But okay, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all. But remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.